we talked about it in I think the first show we did, and that was with the Booster Club itself, and it always you had the owner with the money,
right?
But you never had the hockey people,
no,
or you had the hockey people and didn't have enough money,
right?
So when that occurred, and Mr. Johnston was our GM, there was a lot of insider things going on. What's going on? And then he goes to Pittsburgh, and you're like, what is going on?
What's going on?
We thought it was a conspiracy theory here, that it was a takeover, a hostile takeover.
Yeah.
And then we also lost Samuelson at that time.
Right.
That was the same thing.
Same trade, yeah. And that was a case like, attendance may have gone down, but what is the recourse of I always say, like, if attendance drops after a team, starts playing poorly, they trade away the most popular player. What recourse do fans have? Well, they can stop coming, right? Well, then people say, well, then the team should move, because they can't support a team. Well, why, if it's an inferior product,
right.
So I think, in a way, like I said, that's sort of, to me, that was like the beginning of the end.
Absolutely, without a doubt, I totally agree.
But the other guy I would throw on that list, too, is Kenny Jernander, who...
The guy's awesome.
He's still here.
He is, and he's a class act. He really is.
Guy.
I've talked to him on many occasions, and it's great. He shows up for work. The work ethic's there, and yes, he's not playing anymore, but you can see that he has that passion.
He's
to get
intense.
That team. Oh, he is.
Yeah. He's an incredible leader.
Yes, absolutely, and that's correct.
I hope he gets a shot in the NHL. I hope it's here someday. But
it very well could be. How good would that be?
That would be really
fun. Might get everybody on board.
But he's heck, it's been 14. He played here. I mean, he's as much a part of that Hartford hockey history as anyone.
Oh, absolutely, no question. That's why his number's up there. Rafters with everybody else.
He's here a lot. He likes the community. So.
Well, the 10,000 people at those playoff games when Terry Virtue, and it was like you were at an NHL game,
right?
And when they beat the P Bruins, that was awesome.
The one thing that this town could definitely use is a nice playoff run. We had a couple with the Wolfpack earlier in the years. I mean, they won the cup in 2000. It's arguable. You may have trouble with this one, so I want you to just.
All right.
It's arguable that the most incredible hockey game that's happened in Hartford might have been that Game 6 in 2000 against, I believe it was Providence. Game 7. Did I say Game 6? Game 7 in Hartford to go on to the Calder Finals. I mean, people tell me that night.
It
was electric.
It was unbelievable.
It was like Game 6 in 1986-87 when the Whalers are playing the Canadians.
The energy level, absolutely 110%. I was about 5 rows from the ice, and yes, I supported the Hartford Wolfpack, and it was phenomenal. And when you heard the noise, it brought you right back. The crowds were there.
When that building gets loud.
Oh, it's great. It might be older, but it has magic.
Hartford wants to. It's the little engine that could kind of.
But you're right. They could use a play go over the hump because they make the playoffs every year pretty much.
They've only not made it once.
Yes.
Right.
And you have to give the Rangers credit there. They have provided a good product for 14 years.
They draft well.
But a nice run to the finals, maybe.
Whereas once that catches up and you get into the second, third round, the AHL attendance just naturally rises because it's a little bit of a rare thing.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Have you interviewed Ken Jenander?
Oh yeah. I just talked to him actually a couple weeks ago over the phone to do a sort of an update on what his summer's been like, and he was a lot calmer now this time of year, talking to him on the phone. Like after games, he is very. And like I said, I covered the Red Sox for a number of years. I've been around the Patriots, a lot of pro athletes, and after games, that can be very, very intense.
Oh, sure.
He's about as intense as a figure as I've ever interviewed. After, and this is like he's coaching, not even playing anymore. When they, they'll have games where if they don't play well, his jaw's grinding, and he's.
Oh, you can see him. He sits on a bench, and you can see him. Clinches, and you can see the veins popping out. It's like, wow.
He is.
Because he can't control it out there.
Right.
No.
He can only convey what he wants to do.
And the players probably they don't want to be on that bad side because he's definitely he has that look at you. And
It's funny. I work in an area where he lives, and you see him jog by, and he's still, boom, going, and he's still very, very fit. Goes out there, waves to you, how you doing? Just like the average guy going for a jog. Great guy.
You watch him in practice, and he's out there on skates, and he's going, and he doesn't look like he's that far removed from his playing days, But he's a good person.
Yes,
he's a good guy,
Yep.
and like I said, I hope that if I assume his next step. He wants to be in the NHL.
Sure,
I hope it comes. And
yes,
I think he's in a good situation here.
Yes, it's a perfect institution.
Yeah.
I just wanted to bring up. I made this. This is the high-tech graphics we have here at Whaler Talk. We were talking about attendance. This is the I have the
colors,
the highlights. So I'm accentuating what's going on here, but you can see right about here the Francis trade happened and what happened. There's a little dip there. But as the team was beginning to make the playoffs, there was a rise in attendance, and they had almost 14,000 season ticket holders in 1996-97. They missed the playoffs by 2 or 3 points, I believe.
14,000. The whole place is 15,600 something.
I mean, I'm not stating the obvious. We all know this team should not have.
No, not at all.
They should not have left. It was absolutely ridiculous that. Yeah. There's nothing that the fans here did to warrant that, and this, that's a great graph. That says
put together
all.
Today. Anyway, but I mean, it's good to see that we're here to talk about this. I mean, it's great that you're involved, and maybe some people will email you and say, hey, we'd like to hear you write about the Connecticut Whale more.
We could definitely do more. And I've said that to people. I understand that. I think we all understand that we should do more. And I think we will as time goes on.
I believe when you look at the people when the Whalers left, I think most people didn't believe it was going to happen.
Right.
Now, being where we are right now, if in fact an NHL team was coming here, I believe people would support it more than ever because they know what it feels like to be kicked in the stomach. Because the bottom line is, we filled that arena, 14,000 season ticket holders. The Whale is trying their best to get 3,000, and we'll get an update soon on them. But it's all about building again that foundation, and it can be done again. It's not very hard. You can just have to keep plugging away.
It's a big enough market. It's a big enough state. I mean, I think if you market it beyond Greater Hartford.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I think things have changed. The TV market, the TV possibilities are different than they were 14 years ago.
Right. And the TV market's dipped a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's still 30th, and then there are 30 teams.
Right.
The last thing I wanted to ask you, and we have probably about a minute left, is we know the things that we're missing. We're missing a building or a retrofitted building. We're missing an owner or several owners that can purchase a team. What else do you think Hartford needs to bring back the NHL?
Yeah, I think ultimately it's, there are a lot of prongs here, and I think it has to all come together. Political will, corporate will, the fans, and I think the fans are behind it. And then there's just the sort of belief that it's going to happen.
Right.
You know what I mean? As opposed to thinking,
it's a pipe dream.
And not just fans, but people in the corporate community.
Right.
I know the politicians over the years that I've talked to off the record who, they almost meant they're humoring people by publicly saying they're supporting it, but they don't really believe it. But that changes. Politicians leave, new people come in. If it's hit right, and you have the right people in office, and you have the right people from the corporate side, having the Baldwins here is a huge part of this. Having you guys doing what you do, I mean, I just think there's a lot of people. It's like this sort of convergence of things that have to happen.
Right.
And I think it's moving in the right direction. There are still things that need to happen.
Well, corporate, you talked about 500,000 for youth hockey is phenomenal. But coming to the close here, we appreciate you coming on, and we look forward to doing some business with you over the next hockey season.
Absolutely.
Peter, of course, thanks you.
Oh, no problem.
Look at this. Well, thank you very much.
It was worth it for me to come in.
This is big.
This is great.
We will check you next time on Whaler Talk.
Good night.